So hi everyone, my name is Urvin and I am making this video to demonstrate my task 5.2c in which I will be using a GUI to control my LEDs by using the concept of PWM. So first of all, let's talk about the hardware setup. How did I set up? And it is and we just use three different LEDs over here. Along with that, I have connected the 220 ohms resistor, and then I have used the following anode pins to connect with my Raspberry Pi at pin number 11, 13, and 15. And this is my whole hardware setup. And here's one pin that will be common to the ground of all the LEDs, and this is the simple hardware setup that I have used with my Raspberry Pi. And talking about the software code, so first of all, let's move on to the Tiger VNC. And this is my Raspberry Pi screen, which I have access on my laptop. So first of all, let's open the code. Okay, so I have used the two necessary libraries, one for the GPIO pins and another is for the GUI, which is the tkinter. And here you can see I have implemented three LEDs at respective pins 11, 13, and 15. And followed by I have declared a variable in which I have used a for loop so as to get the GPIO dot setup, which will start the respective pin. And over here you can see that we will be using the .pwm function on the particular pin that which will be accessing via a slider, and we have adjusted its frequency by 100 hertz. And from here in the next line it is written PWM LEDs color dot start 0. The 0 here means that the starting value of the any LED is 0%, and which is the 0% duty cycle, because we want every LED at the starting at the 0, which means we will be getting 0 volt full time. And below that, we have declared a defined a function for updating the brightness. Here it will fetch the int value. The value will come from the GUI interface, which is mentioned below in the tkinter, and this value is fetched, and that's how the duty cycle of the respective color is being changed when the slider is changed. So over here you can see another function which is close, which is defined, which will ensure us to get a smooth exit from the code. Below here you can see the take into GUI, in which I have set the window size to 315 to 300 pixels, and here you can see a for loop that will be responsible to pass the value to the valued variable which I have explained you in the above. And that's how the whole things are updated. And this is the whole code working. And so let's move on to the working now. So let's run this code. Let me just exit from that. So we will run this code by typing python slider.py. That's how we have hit enter. And now you can see by default every LED is at 0, which means that every LED is at 0% duty cycle. And so here you can see three LEDs. Now I will be changing the PWM for the red LED, and you can see now it is blinking. Let me first, here, now you may be able to see properly. As I am decreasing the duty cycle is also decreasing. As I am increasing the slider, the duty cycle is also increased. Similarly for the green LED, here you can see it is same for the green LED and for the yellow LED. So this was the whole task for using the PWM by using a GUI interface. You can see I would set all the LEDs at the 100% duty cycle, which means the LEDs would stay on for on the 5 volts for whole period. So this was the whole working of my system. So let's move to the how my how I have troubleshoot my system and how I have tested my system. Because in general, when I was implementing my system, I was facing a problem that my LEDs were not working properly. It was due to the difference in using the physical pins and the BCM pins, because they both differ in in the design. And physical pins are from starting from the 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's how we use the physical pins. However, if we see the Raspberry Pi pin diagram, we can see how the BCM pins are labeled accordingly, and that's how I have tested my whole system by using the tester.py. Here I would like to show the code that I have used to test my system is the test.py. Here you can see I have used a for loop in which I have used the GPIO.board to ensure that my LEDs are connected on the physical pins, and each LED would first get the high input and then it will get the low input and followed by every LED, so as to make sure that my LEDs are working properly. So this was the whole criteria for my task, and thank you for watching.